Welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there. Welcome, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 183 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Today, we are talking about some 2022 marketing predictions. We are towards the end of March, so almost a quarter in, and I think it's about time that we talked about some marketing trends that I'm seeing in, well, I guess they're not all new for this year, but definitely trending and working for this year. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making me one of them. If you are enjoying this podcast, then hey, I'd love to get to know you too. So take a screenshot of this podcast wherever you're listening and maybe share it on your socials and tag me, because that would be super cool, and then I can cheer you on in your small business journey as well. Don't forget, you can find the show notes for this podcast at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/183. And of course, you will find all the show notes for all the previous 182 also at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/podcast. Before we get started this week, I want to tell you about a fabulous event that I'm actually emceeing at the end of March. I am super excited about this event. It's actually called SMB Digital, and it's on the 30th and the 31st of March. It's an in-person event, yay, in-person event at the ICC in Sydney. It's free to attend, and it's a 2-day conference that has over 55 speakers, including moi. And it's just a really great digital tech type solutions for small business owners and medium SMBs, I guess, at the end of the day. If you are interested in coming along, then firstly, that would be super cool. Make sure you find me and say hello. My podcast is the podcast sponsor, so I'm a little bit excited by that. Like I said, it's free to attend, and you can just go and buy your ticket by going to SMB, as in Samantha, Megan, Bradley, smb-digital.com.au, and buy your ticket, and make sure you look me up if you do come. It's going to be a great event, A, because it's in person, and B, because I'll be there, and hopefully so will you. So go and secure your free ticket to this really great event. Okay, so like I said at the start, we are almost through March 2020, and it's about time that I started to chat about some of the predictions and some of the trends that I'm seeing in marketing for 2022, and put them on the table, or of course in your ears as it is, because you're listening to this podcast. I've come up with 7 predictions or 7 trends I've been watching. Obviously, I'm testing and measuring this myself and with my clients to watch what works, what doesn't, and, all of that. So these are things that I'm testing, that I've seen, that I'm doing myself, and that I'm looking at the data of. So let's get into it. Number 1 is voice searching. So most houses have a Google device or similar, and we are doing more and more voice searches via our phones even. We're saying, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, hey, Siri. These are the things that of course, my Siri has just started up. Sorry, because I said the magic words. And we are asking them to do something. I know my children are just hey, Google, what's the weather going to be like today? Hey, Google, can you set a timer for 25 minutes when my cake cooks, please? These are the sorts of things that we are already doing. I sit here and say, hey, I won't mention her name because she'll start up. How do you spell sell this? Or can you tell me more about this? Can you find some information on that? I'm already using voice searches so much in my daily life. And it's only a matter of time before we really start using it for our marketing, or really as people and finding other people's marketing, because, it'll take over from us actually typing into a keyboard. So for small businesses, this will have big implications, because if we're saying, hey Google, what's the best pizza in Yarrawonga? You want your website and your SEO to be focused around that. So when someone asks that question, best pizza, Yarrawonga, they're the keywords, you actually come up in what Google tells that person back, or Siri or Alexa, whoever it is that they're actually asking. So you need to be thinking about this when you're writing your copy. Are you writing copy that answers questions that people will ask? Even on Google these days, it's not all about the keywords as such. It's key phrases now. It's key questions and answers to those key questions and answers to those key phrases. That's what we need to be looking at. So what are you doing at the moment that will really help your business become one of those people that Google or Alexa or Siri actually replies within the reply, so that your website and your business is actually coming up in these searches? I think it's something that we really need to be looking at, and perhaps something I could really ask. I've got the amazing Kate Toon coming on the podcast soon, and maybe it's a question I could actually ask Kate to explain to us about how we can do this more inside our business and write for this more as time moves on. It's definitely a trend that's been around for a little while, but I think it's becoming more and more what we are going to do in the future is actually use our voice to ask questions rather than type them into places like Google, or just really look at our phones and talk to it and expect an answer back. We want to be on that trend as small business owners. Number 2, you will not be surprised to know, is human-to-human marketing. I've been banging on about human-to-human marketing for about 5 or 6 years now, so it's no surprise that it's reached my 2022 trends predictions list. I'll say it again, loud and proud. We need more H2H, more human-to-human marketing. We need to show our prospects, our community, that we are human, and we need to show up for them, and we need to let them into our world a little bit more. Marketing is no longer about telling someone how good you are, how good you've been doing it for, and how they need you. It needs to be more about creating conversations with these people, telling stories. Remember, people will remember stories over marketing messages, letting them know who you are. Yep. Letting them know who you are, and leading them down that funnel path that results in them not only not being able to resist you and your services or your products, because basically they know you, they love you, they trust you, and you alone they know will solve their problems or completely delight them. If you wouldn't say it to another human in the exact words, then don't write it as a piece of content in your marketing. I find that a lot of people with content writing get really stuck. They put their fingers on the keyboard and the fingers don't move. So make it more conversational, make it more human when you are writing. If you write like you would speak to your best friend or your best customer, don't try and be something you aren't. Just be more human and get personal. Do personal marketing. Maybe that's the piece, maybe a piece of direct marketing. Direct marketing is where the marketing is 100% personalized to that person. A birthday card, a book sent to them because you know that they would like that book, a personal invitation to attend an event that, is that they will love because you know them personally. Maybe it's a video that you send when they join your world, or when they start following you on Instagram, or when they connect with you on LinkedIn, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's voice messaging rather than actually typing something. But, thinking about how direct marketing can influence your world and influence your prospects, but also influence the amount of human-to-human marketing you put in your business. In my retail days, if we head back to there, one of my best pieces of personal marketing was the fact that we sent out bright pink envelopes with a handwritten note. Now, I have little doubt that 100% of delivered ones, so as long as we got their address right, would actually open that, because who does get more bright pink envelopes than they know what to do with? No one. Like, curiosity will kill the cat. They will open that piece of snail mail. And then, of course, what the offer was inside, it was made personal as well, with about a 95% take-up rate. So what does that look like in your business? The business that gets this, the business that gets human-to-human marketing and personal marketing, these are the ones that are going to win more in 2022. And, you do have to show up and show your faces, or faces, just your face, no faces. And if you're afraid of the camera, I would say to you, practice, practice, practice. And remember, it's not about you. It's about your customers and how you can serve them. They don't care if you and you are and you get lost on the train of thought. Like, I do it every single week doing this podcast. So just remember, it's not about you. And look, really, if you want to use a filter, use a filter. Who cares? As long as it's, you're not trying to pretend that you're not using a filter, that doesn't matter. Use a filter if that's going to make you show up more. Which, of course, leads me into number 3, which is video. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Video is king. It always has been. It always will be on social media. It's just one of those things that we are lagging behind. If we head back to like 2018, when Mark Zuckerberg made this big prediction that, 80% of his platform in 2020 would be video. Well, he kind of got that wrong, because I don't think he realized that us humans don't like seeing ourselves on video. But at the end of the day, video really does intensify your ability to build authority and become that go-to person in your industry. And it also quickens the know, like, and trust factors like you just wouldn't believe. It really is quite amazing how quickly you can build authority and know, like, and trust simply by showing up on video and having people get to know you and understand your expertise and just, get to know you as a human being. I've spoken about video many times on this podcast before, and I'm pretty sure I've shared this story, but I will share it with you again. So about 5 years ago, I was attending a mastermind as a student and complaining to my bestie that I hate video. You see, video was the thing. We had to do a live video at lunchtime. That was our thing that we had to get conquered at lunchtime for this marketing mastermind that I was at. I was, saying to Sam, I hate video. I hate myself on video. I hate the way I look. I hate the way I sound, blah, blah, blah. And clearly I had annoyed him to the point where he gave me some very swift advice that was like a dagger to the heart. And what Sam turned around and said to me was, Jen, you look the same. You sound the same to me right now, standing here, as to what you do on video. So you need to stop complaining and just get it done. I think it's only us or me or you who thinks we look and sound differently. Look, I can listen to my own podcast and think that doesn't sound like me. But it's clearly me. I don't have any voice changing technology. So it is me. So I think truth bombs like that, and that one did hurt. It really was like a dagger to the heart, but it's so true. And it was one of the best and worst pieces of advice I've ever had. I still don't like video, but I understand the power of video, and therefore I'm going to make sure that I keep implementing it, which is why video is my word of the year for 2022. So whether you're interacting with people face to face, whether it be one person or 200, the way they see you and the way they hear you is the same on video. So why do you need a filter? Because someone standing in front of you doesn't have a filter. And why do you think that you can't do video when you can stand in front of one person, 2 persons, 3 persons and explain what it is that you do and give value? So we just really do need to get over our fear of video, because it's only going to be a trend that will leave you behind more and more the longer it takes you to start using video. I would suggest maybe a goal is from the day you are listening to this podcast, for 11 days in a row, do a video, post them. And just remember, no one expects perfect, but practice will make you more closer to perfect. And soon you'll be smashing out videos like little bunnies. And you will maybe still have the fear of video, but you will see what it does for your business and therefore be more inclined to do it. Number 4 is insight-driven marketing. So business owners who use their analytics and their insights to drive their marketing, strategies will win bigger and better and quicker in 2022. If you have Google Analytics or social media, then you have access to insights and data that can really help you up-level your marketing and build strategies that will work for you because you are basing them on hard data that is already there. You can already see customer behavior, and therefore you can strategically hone in on that behavior to increase your sales. It will make marketing easier and simpler and more strategic. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want a better return on your marketing investment? For instance, if you're seeing from your insights on your social media that on Friday nights you get more engagement, then post on Friday nights. If you're looking at your Google Analytics and there's a huge bounce rate on a particular page, find out why someone is bouncing off that page. Is the load speed far too low or far too slow, I should say? Are they landing there and they're not expecting to land there? Is there a total disconnect with what they think they're going to get versus what they get? Or with your email marketing analytics, having a look at that. Do you get a bigger open rate when you really concentrate on what your subject line is, or use an emoji in your subject line, or if you send something out on Sunday? Again, looking at the analytics, understanding what they bring to the table for you will help you be more strategic. Number 5 is influencer marketing. So it's not exactly what you think. So bear with me here. Having someone else tell your audience how amazing you are and how amazing your products are is worth its weight in gold. Having someone else help you build that know, like, and trust factors is really quite priceless. So in 2022, stop thinking about influencer marketer as paying a celebrity to show your product. Think of it as your customers who have tagged you on Instagram when they took a product or if they took a photo of your product or your service and tagged you in that. Think of it as that amazing staff member or member of your team that you have who's always sharing your stuff on their socials and with their friends and their family. That's the 2022 influencer we need to concentrate on. 92% of people will trust other consumer recommendations over businesses advertising to them. 92%. So what are you doing to get other people, like testimonials or reviews or in little micro influencer marketing? What are you doing to attract that into your business and to use that as a strategy? As small business owners, we need to look at influencer marketing in that micro bit. Look at who's in your world that's already doing it and how can we encourage them to do it more often or reward them for already doing what they're doing organically for you. How can you encourage your customers to tag and share on their social media platforms what they're already buying from you, what they already like about your business, and they're already interacting? That strategy alone is worth giving a lot of thought and definitely to give some weight to in 2022. I've got 2 more to go. Community building. Who would have thought I'd sneak human to human marketing and community building into strategies that you need to be looking at in 2022, and of course trends that you need to take notice of. All right, so number 6, community building. Stop thinking about numbers. Stop thinking about the number of followers you have or the number of likers you have. Start thinking about, how can I build a community? How can I build a tribe around me who know, like, and trust me, or, actually know, love, and trust me, and become my raving fans. And obviously some of your best referrers too. That's what building a community is all about. It's about building that picket fence around your audience, around your community, so that they think X, which is your business, they'll think you. What do they say? What's that saying? People will come for the product but stay for the community. So yes, your product or your service might have attracted them to start with, or maybe it's content. I think that's the saying. People will come for the content but stay for the community. So again, that's what you've got to think about. How can you make them stay for the community? How are you leading your community? Building your community, community building part of your strategy and tactics in 2022 is where you will see business growth. Worrying about followers is so 2019. Stop it. Just don't do it anymore. All right, number 7, my last one before I finish up, customer-centric focus. We've got to have a customer-centric focus. So whether you're looking at the captions you write or your website copy that you have or your videos that you're doing, we've got to think customer-centric. People don't care about you. Sorry. They just don't. People don't care about you until they know that you can solve their problems, help them with their challenges, or completely delight them. That is when they start caring about you. Your marketing isn't actually about you. It's about them. And I know it's a concept that's hard to get your head around sometimes when I'm saying to you, show up for them, do more human-to-human marketing, tell them stories. And then I tell you not to make it about you, make it about the customer. I get it. It sounds confusing, but it's not. It's basically, for instance, sharing your favorite quote and telling them why it's your favorite quote and inspiring your community by sharing your story around there. It's doing a live video about your product and telling your community not only the features, but the benefits. And it's showing up as you, building that relationship so they buy from you because you're their type of people and not buying from your competition because you're not just trying to sell them something. You are inviting them into your world by showing up as you and by sharing stories and, of course, making them feel like they belong. It's a human need to feel like you belong to something. So what are you doing to make people feel like they belong? And as far as benefits versus features, let me just use the example of a candle. So features of a candle are its smell, its burn time, what it's made of, perhaps its wick type, all those sorts of things. That is the features. Like, just don't tell me those. That's what everyone else tells me. And I can see that really quite clearly when, I go to your website or something like that. But sometimes that's all people tell me. And I want to know the benefits. What is the benefit of buying your candle over everybody else who sells candles? What's the benefit of going to your coaching program over and above everybody else's coach's program? So if we go back to candles and we look at the benefits, it might be the way that it brings back memories from your childhood because of the smell of the candle. Or it might be the crackle that reminds you of campfires because it's got a wood wick in it. Or it might be the fact that this candle is going to make your house smell clean, even if it isn't. They're the benefits. They're the why. They're the ones that people would be like, oh man, yes, my house is like so untidy, but if it smells clean, then I will feel better about myself. And if you do all this on a live video with you holding the candle, then that, of course, is perfect human to human marketing that is customer centric. So that's it. They're my 7 predictions for 2022 and what marketing needs to look like. And in fact, what successful marketing is looking like today. So let's recap. We have voice activated marketing. We had human to human conversational marketing. We had video. We had insights driven marketing. We had influencer marketing. We had community building, and we had customer centric focus. So if you've got questions or comments or thoughts or ideas, I would super love to hear them. Let's head into the Facebook group Like-Minded Business Owners, and you can tell me your thoughts or your ideas, or you can ask me any questions that you might have. I hope these gentle reminders have been useful to you. Maybe it's an episode that you could pass on to another small business owner who might need some of these gentle reminders or a gentle nudge as well. It would mean the world to me if you would share this episode, and you could just be helping another small business owner make 2022 their year as well. But that's it for another podcast episode of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Let's continue the chat in the Like-Minded Business Owners group. If you're not a member of that already, go and join that. And talking about my Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group, I have some amazing guests coming in to do lives in there with me this year, and I'm super excited by this. From finance experts to PR and marketing experts, besides myself, to law experts. They're all coming in to give you their time and to do Q&As with my group. It is seriously community building stuff, and I am so amazed at the quality and quantity of the amount of people who are willing to give up half an hour of their time to come in and help you build your business. So I just think that's amazing. Another great reason to come and join that like-minded business owners community on Facebook. Remember, before I head off, you can find all the show notes for this episode at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au, and a second reminder to go and sign up for the event that's happening in Sydney at the end of March. That would be super great. That it was called SMB Digital, and of course you can find the link for that in the show notes. Otherwise, just go to Google and search SMB Digital Sydney, and I'm sure it will pop up. All right, I will see you next week on the podcast for episode 184. But in the meantime, if we aren't friends on social already, let's get social on social. You will find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course LinkedIn. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peeps, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.